this screencast, we're going to discuss this keyword in context of attributes. So we're going to start out by creating a new project here. And we're going to call that project for this attributes example. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new class. And for the sake of this screencast, we're going to call that class student. Inside of student, we're going to give it two attributes. We're going to give it one attribute called name and one attribute called ID of type int. Down here, we're going to declare a constructor. And previously, when we have created a constructor to assign values to our attributes, we had to ensure that the name of our parameters were different from the name of our attributes. The reason for that was when we wrote like this, the name of the attribute, and then assigned it the value of the parameter, we needed to be able to distinguish between the parameter and the attribute. Obviously, if I change the name of the parameter up here, we would have a name collision because now the name of the parameter would be the same as the name of the attribute, and this statement down here just doesn't make sense. In this case, both of these names down here would refer to the name here in our parameter. This is because attributes are hidden if there is a name collision with local variables. Now in this case we have a collision between the parameter name and the attribute name, and in this case the attribute name is hidden by Java. However, there's a drawback in using this notion of renaming our parameters to something else in order to avoid name collision, because now it is not immediate obvious, always at least, if this parameter up here maps one-to-one to this attribute here, because they're called something different. Is this something a name of something different, or is it not? So this makes our program code a little less readable. It's harder to explain the naming scheme, and obviously there has to be a more elegant solution to this, and this is actually also the case. So what we can do instead is we can go ahead and change the name of our parameters up here to match the names of our attributes, and then we can use the this keyword in order to make it clear to Java that what we're referring to here on the left side are attributes. So we can use this to refer to attributes in an object, and in that way we will come the limitation or the naming collusion that we had before. So we could of course do the same thing for ID down here, and this way we have preserved the names of our attributes. We've used the same name to our parameters, thereby displaying that we are actually intending for these parameters to map to the attributes up here, and then we used this keyword to make it clear to Java that we're talking about attributes and not the local name variables or the local ID variable. So this is it for this screencast.